معاذ الأنصاري, graduate in 2008 with bachelor and master degrees on fire and explosion engineering. He has joined KNPC, which gave him 13 years of experience on fire prevention, process safety management, risk management, HSSE auditing, fire investigation, and emergency management in the oil industry and refining field. Currently holding a position as Senior Fire Prevention and Technical Support Engineer in Security and Fire Department under Support Services Directorate of KNPC.
We are back to our show. Good morning, Kuwait, everyone. Let's go for our second interview segment. We see one of the main key factors of the successful emergency management is any organization is to prepare a pre-planned strategies and also activities before any incident could take place. Therefore, the Kuwait National Petroleum Company, KNPC, is investing on developing its security and also fire personnel, equipment and management systems, Emil.
Yes, indeed, Abdulaziz. KNPC has established the main support and emergency operations center, which is considered as a central of development, training and preparedness for emergencies. And to know more, we would like to welcome here in the studio of Good Morning Kuwait our guest, Engineer معاذ الأنصاري, Senior Fire Technical Support Engineer. So welcome and good morning.
Thank you, good morning, and thank you for the nice introduction.
You're most welcome and thank you for joining us this morning, Engineer Mu'ad. This is our second time you'll be our guest. We'd like to appreciate you. But today we'll talk about something else. So let's talk more about the KNPC employees like preparing for the emergencies. Can you elaborate more?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for the good question. In KNPC, we are committed to comply with the International Incident Command System, ICS. And for that, we prepare our employee according to emergency response plan, which is a document that we have basically established. On that, we have categorized the emergency responders into three main levels. Level 1 would be the operational level. That includes the operational staff who attend the incident scene.
Okay.
Those from the fire department as firefighters, oil spill response team, mechanical team, mechanical maintenance, operation, etc. Then we have the other level, is the more called the tactical level of teams. Mostly senior management who gather in a room called an emergency operations center that's located on the incident site. Basically the main role is to provide tactical advice, support, whatever needed for level 1 employees on the site. That's during emergency. Then we have the third level, which are the strategic level. Those are mainly consisting of top management who make vital decisions and decision makers. The main concern is to focus on the business continuity, sustainability, as well as the recovery. So all these levels of emergency responders from the employees are being trained on the emergency response plan. In not just in as a responsive sort of training, it is rather the instinctive level of training, as well as we conduct drills. Instinctive as an instinct.
Yes.
Yes. Also, we conduct annual drills on the field, on the site, tabletop drills and field drills. Which is the exercise.
Is it hourly? I mean,
an hour, yeah, in each site. It's not just in KNPC. We also coordinate with external agencies to check the elaboration, the cooperation between the external agencies with KNPC.
Okay.
And in additional also to awareness sessions for all the employees. And I can say, like, all KNPC employees are trained on evacuation plans, are trained on basic firefighting. So that sort of thing, that's how we prepare our...
So the good thing that also Engineer Muad saying that we have like a people, human resource, they are doing an amazing job with their instinct because they want to do something important. This Amal, I know you're working in the oil sector before, so you are already negotiating with our guest today, Engineer Muad Al-Ansari from KNPC. So about what they are doing here, Amal.
Indeed, and I have noticed that what you are talking about, preparing of firefighters as well as strategic, as well as tactics, that really must need a center and not any kind of centers. And I have known that the KNPC has a very unique center as your place.
Yeah, you're probably referring to MISOC, which is the main support and emergency operations center. That's, let's say, a centralized center. Is intended to prepare firefighters in all the levels, as well as security. The center also has a main...
So the center really, may I interrupt a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
The center really does have the, let's say, the schedule or the preparations to prepare the firefighters in it.
Exactly, yes. It also has training fire simulators, live fire simulators, so they can test the capabilities of the firefighters with accredited international certified courses.
So we can say it's an academy for firefighters?
It is actually. It's an academy. It has a training hall for all KNPC employees. It also has a C4I, which is the command and control, communication, computer and intelligence, usually for security, in coordination with the Ministry of Interior. It also has a main, what do we call it, filling station for a CBA, which is a self-contained breathing apparatus. It also has...
and also, Engineer Muad Al-Ansari, we see a glimpse, a report about the firefighter, right?
Yes, exactly.
This is like the people who's working there in the firefighter section.
That's actually the drill that we are conducting annually each year. And that's the major drill. It's done not just with KNPC, it's with the other oil sector companies, subsidiaries, the K companies, as well as the KFF and Ministry of Interior. So it's basically a major drill that we conduct each year.
And also, Engineer Muad Al-Ansari, I notice a huge equipment in the reporters, and even the huge firefighters, like we call it, the vehicles, and even the equipment. So can you tell me more about what about the special fire equipment having inside the KNPC?
Yes, we have special equipment such as combination trucks. It has capabilities of pumping water, also a special type of foam that we use. It's called AFFF type of foam to fight hydrocarbon fires.
And they have even more and more equipment, right?
Yes. There is also a water tender, water carrier, which carries the water to provide it to the incident scene. This is an additional to the fire network provided within the refineries. Also, we have a foam carrier, which is to carry the foam, extinguish the fire. Also, we have hazardous material vehicles and first turnout vehicle as well. It's a small combination truck, but that would, make the response time easier. I just would like to note that the response time, it's internationally known. It shall not exceed 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Traveling from the fire station to the furthest
Nice.
So
points in the
the
refinery.
4 minutes starts since the time that you get the message, the emergency message, until you reach there.
Actually, from moving from the station. So 6 minutes in total. That's 2 minutes we have to arrange
Prepare.
and to respond from the fire station to the furthest point or location at the refinery or any refinery. It has not to exceed 4 minutes.
Nice. So this
Wow.
is like, we call it the huge
Yes.
equipments, Emil. So
Yes,
they
indeed.
have something very huge thing they are doing in KNPC.
I know, Abdulaziz, and you know something, it is really a wonder that 6 minutes, we cannot really prepare anything in 6 minutes or move, but you are doing that. And we were talking of me, you and Abdulaziz, about the loyalty that the K companies really gets from their employees. And by that, can you tell us, I know you are loyal to our KNPC and as we are to KOC or whatever companies as we are to this wonderful land, but how satisfied are you with the level of the fire engines equipment?
I would say I'm pretty satisfied with the usage of the modern and the new type of fire engines, what we have, considering the high-tech
Yes.
as well.
Especially in KNPC, you have the hazards of chemicals all the time, and
Yeah,
that is not
exactly,
easy.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say. The fires, what we are dealing with in the refineries and the local marketing are based on hydrocarbon, high pressure, highly toxic once if it's released, and we're also talking about gases also.
Indeed.
So such vehicles are required, especially for try to fight the fire from a range, from a far distance, rather than getting so close to the, let's say, the dangerous or hazardous area.
Yes.
So yeah.
So this is, Emil, we call it like something very important, because KNPC, they have something, we call it the zones are very crucial, very
Yes,
critical.
indeed, especially if they are really doing it by remote, because they cannot approach so much to the hazardous.
So let's speak about the engines who, like, because we talk about the fire equipments for the oil facility now. So what about the distinguished equipment for the oil facility, engineer?
We have first to distinguish the type of fires that we are dealing with in the refineries and the ordinary fires that you might face them on domestic type of fire, such as houses and shopping centers, etc. As I mentioned earlier, it has high temperatures, high pressure, highly toxic. So the main strategy of firefighting has to be from long distance, unless if it's necessary to get closer to the fire, so also prepared for that. So talking about the distinction from, to distinguish between the ordinary and our modern fire vehicle, which we use, is that the integrity of the fire vehicle itself, the material used, how to withstand with high temperatures and pressure. There is also a toxic, let's say, gas monitor.
Yes.
An alarm on
H2S and
of course H2S, sulfur, hydrocarbon, lower exposure levels, etc. That would give an early warning to the firefighters. We're also planning to install cameras on it to assist basically on monitoring the incident scene, as well as to be used during the investigation after when the incident got control. Also the pumping capacity of the fire vehicle, what we have, we're talking about 3,000 gallon per minute to be pumped into a fire.
Into the fire.
So
3,000 per minute.
where you have, on the other hand, the ordinary ones would be not more than 1,000, well, maybe 1,500, depending on.
Because this is the sake for the oil facility, it's like very important zones, Emil. So this is like we call the prepare very, very huge instrument for this critical places.
Yes, indeed, Abdulaziz. And I know that you are doing, we were talking a little bit about the H2S and the sulfur gases and all of that. And I would like to ask about this question. I know you are an engineer and in fire safety, but I know the safety is a priority to you. So what kind of really safety rules you give to the employees to avoid such incidents, but because several years, let's say, there was a leak of H2S and some of the people really suffered of it. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we give awareness sessions about the hazard of H2S and other toxic gases, how to avoid them, what to use, and the evacuation plan, where to go in case of gas release. So mainly on the training and awareness, HSE campaigns as well.
Yes.
So, and that is done by, we have another department called HSE department. But also as a team, we all cooperate together and we conduct such trainings just to increase the awareness and to avoid such incident. Also, each employee who want to enter the incident site, there is a rule, or let's say safe practice implemented in KNPC. All the employees shall carry H2S monitor or gas monitor, depending on the unit that's going, before entering also the unit. So once there is any H2S release, it can be detected and take out the safe way.
And this is the thing that I wanted to really you to talk about, that monitor. The Abdulaziz H2S monitor is like something that the employee carries with him, and its status, because the H2S, after just several seconds, you will never be able to smell it. It will get to you and really wipe off the smell buds in your nose, and you will not detect it. But this detector is one of a kind, and it's the latest and elite equipment that KNPC really gives to their employees.
This is like we appreciate the role of what they are doing, and a huge effort for the sake, for the safety, for the facilities, and even for our human beings. So let's talk about, we call it the fire team. Fire teams playing a major role. This is the key of any success, especially for the fire departments, and you are already one of the specialized for the fire safety. So sometimes the tasks take too much time, like we call it. Will the fire team's task expand following the full commission of CFP, engineer?
Oh, yes, it has already been expanded since we have, as I mentioned earlier, the response time has to be not more than 4 minutes. So we have done an in-house drill or exercise to check the travel distance between the fire station, the existing one, and any location or the first location in the clean fuel project area, which is a CFP. And we have found that the time is exceeding. So because of that, we have initiated to install additional fire station with its manpower and equipment near the CFP area, so it can cope with the changes. So that was something, maybe it's the first time happens, let's say, on the Middle East. That just to consider that the response time, and now it's on progress. We have an additional fire station, we call it remote fire station, in each clean fuel project area, just to cover up until the construction get completed of the new fire station.
See, this is we call it the fire team task, Emil.
Yes, indeed. And I know that both of KNPC as well as other K companies have really done a great job in providing each and every personnel with safety regulations. Before we end, Engineer Muaad, is there a last minute you would love to give to the audience?
I would like to thank you very much. And we have to consider our safety, well-being, and that's it, I would say, from my side.
You're most welcome. Thank you so much for being with us today. We appreciate your efforts. So special thanks to Engineer معاذ الأنصاري. He's the Senior Fire Technical Support Engineer in the KNPC. Dear viewers, we have too many things to share with you, and we have a variety of segments we're going to continue, but after this break.